Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce us from DIM 6 Class A in Data Structure Courses, Informatics Engineering Ahmad Dahlan University Yogyakarta. Master by Mr. Wahyu Pujono. Both for our team member consists of the first Destian Chusnul Ramadhan, the second Adib Bagus Sudiyono, and the last Muhammad Irfan Fajru Ramadhan. Okay, let's get to the discussion. Discussion on the basis of theory and other will be explained by Destian. Please, for Destian can explain the passages.
The basis of storage theory. Storage using double list. Double list is a set of data nodes that are sorted linearly or sequentially with two pointers, namely ref and next. Stack is a data structure that provides data such as stuck in a glass. Of if a data will be put in the first glass will be the last to be retrieved, then this data structure address to the LIFO, last in first out rule. The meaning of LIFO, it is the last entry, then it will be the first out. Stack that will be created apply OOP, Object-Oriented Programming System, so that it is easier to understand. In OOP, we have to create a class that we are going to call stack. Stack implementation using DLL is also the same rule is not eliminated, but the most different is if using DLL is closer to the allocation of data, because the data structure of doubling list unlimited even though it can be restricted. Next, explained of case studies characteristic and variable. Our case is to create a physical storage program using state with the doubling list storage method. With the type of physical storage, this program has characteristics that have options in the type of physical storage, roda 2 and roda 4, checking stack empty or not. Checking is the stack full or not, and has a maximum limit that has been specified in the program. Variables that we use are roda 2 motorcycle and roda 4 cars. With a capacity of 2 wheels as much as 15 and 4 wheels as much as 10. Analysis in the form of abstract data type and implementation of class or stack use. Stack entity, a list with restriction that insertion and deletion can be formed in advanced form. Just one end, called top operation, part, cut, push, the parameter number plot, and mark. Pop is empty, is full, time, display, stack, the parameter integer max. Next, operation description. Push number plot mark, which is to insert number plot and mark data into the stack. Pop, that is delete the data of the last physical in stack. Is empty, which is checking if the stack is empty. Is full, which is checking whether the stack is full or not. Sisa, filtering the remaining rem, cut. Sisa, filtering the remaining slot from the available parking stack. Display, which display other stack data stored. Stack, the parameter integer max, which a constructor to limit parking slot.
Thanks you for the explanation. Next will be explained by Irfan. Please, Irfan, can explain.
Analysis in the form of abstract data type and implementation of class or struct use. The first one is class. For the class implementation, we use the class name struct. There are two modifiers here, public and private, and here are few constructor and method. In public, we have a method that is empty, is full, push, pop, display, and sisa. And the last one is stack. It is a constructor of class. In private, there is a top pointer with a null value to indicate the stack is still empty, and a variable n with an integer data type to limit the input stack. Next. For the implementation of the struct, we created with the node name as a pointer pref and next node to designate the address of the node before or next. The node plot string and mark to store the license plate number and vehicle brand. For the future explanation, we go straight to the source code. Okay, in the source code, in the struct node, we have a node pref for pointer, a preview node, and string node plot to save a number plot of vehicle, and string map to save data of vehicle brands, and node next to save address next node. In the class implementation, we use the class name stack. And the method we have is empty, is full, push, pop, display, and sisa. And the first one, we have a constructor of the class. For the constructor, there is a stack with integer max parameter with integer data type to initialize the initial value of the object that we created. And second one is empty and is full. Here there are two methods with a Boolean data type, namely is empty and is full. Here is empty is used to check whether the stack is empty, and is full is used to check whether the stack is full. In is full method, here if the value of n variable is 0, it will return true, indicators the stack is full. In isEmpty method, here if the value of the top is null, it will return true, indicates the stack is empty. Okay. Then in the push method. In the push method, there are two parameters, namely the plot and mark, with the string data type to accommodate the input of plate number and vehicle brands. In the push operation, here we create a new pointer called temp. The new node function is here to ask the computer to prepare dynamic memory of storage. First, the program will check whether the stack is full or not. If it is full, it will write out pakaian penuh. It means pakaian lot is full and it can't push or input data again. And if the parking lot still has a slot for parking and is full return false, then the data from the plate number and vehicle brand will be entered into the node. And this node is used as the top of the stack. And the value of the variable n will be reduced by 1 each time do the push. Okay, next, in the pop method. In the pop method here, the program first checks whether the stack is empty or not with the isEmpty function. If the isEmpty function returns true, then the pop operation cannot be performed. And if it is false, the pop method can be done by creating a pointer with the name temp to retrieve data from the node top. Then top will point to the previous node. After that, it removes data from the temp pointer with delete temp and increase the value of the variable n by 1. Okay, in this display method. In this display method, the program will check whether the stack is empty or not. If it's false, then the program will create a node pointer named itl and retrieve data from the top of the stack and display the top of the stack data. After that, a while loop is performed until the condition is where previous pointer is null to display every vehicle data stored on the stack. Every time it's repeated, the value of itl will point to the previous pointer, which is the address of the previous node. This method will display vehicle data in the form of plate number and brand. From the top of the stack, data until the first data is entered. Okay, the last method is sisa. In the sisa method, the program will check whether the stack is full. If it's full, it will display penuh and cannot be popped. The last one is sisa. In the sisa method, the program will check whether the stack is full. If it's full, it will display penuh, and if not or false, it will display the value of n variable or remaining slots from the vehicle parking lot that can be input. Okay, we go to the main program. In the main program, there are two objects, namely roda 2 to store data on the two-wheeled vehicles with a vehicle capacity of 5T and roda 4 to store four-wheeled vehicle or cars with a vehicle capacity of 10. And there are two menu options for parking, namely motorbikes and cars, roda 2 and roda 4, and its vehicle option that are push, pop, and display operation, and will repeat to the main menu when the operation is done. Let's go to the push operation. In the push method, in the push operation, first the program will check whether the stack is full or not. If it's full, it will write out parkiran penuh. It means cannot push another data and stack is full. Let's go to the demonstration of program. First of all, to make the program demonstration easier, we change the maximum data on the roda 2 for 3 and for only 2 on the roda 4. Okay, let's start the program. Let's run the program. Okay, this is the initial view of the program having two options, namely roda 2 parking and roda 4 parking. Let's try to roda 2 parking first. Here, there are three more options: push to add data and pop to delete data, display to display data. We're going to try push. Let's try push. See, the reminder changes to 2 because when the data is pushed, the reminder will be decremented, and if pop will be incremented. We push to wheel data again. We push roda 2 again. After that, we try to see the data of roda 2, input 1 and input 3, number to the period operation. Now, here, Yamaha is the last data on the top. The top data will be deleted first. We try to pop data roda 2. Enter to back to the new and 1 to roda 2, and we try to pop data input 2 number. Here, the most recently entered data has been deleted successfully. Yamaha has been deleted. Okay, let's retry to roda 4. We try to the pop and display first. To the pop, we input 2. And then when you select the port, when you select pop, while the data has not been added, the parkiran display is still empty. And then when we try to display roda 4, number 3, we try to display and the parking lot is still empty, which means there is no data stored in the stack. And try to push the roda 4 to add data to the full. We will push the data of roda 4 until full of stack. Here is the full text, which means that the parking lot cannot be filled with data anymore unless the delete or pop operation. Let's see the data from roda 2 and roda 4 are mixed or not. Okay, we try to input data on roda 4. Input number 2 for operation roda 4 and we push. We can see the parkiran is penuh. Parkiran is full. We cannot push because the parkiran is maximum slot. We can pop data. Data of Lamborghini has been deleted and successfully. And we try to display roda 4. Input 2 and input 3 for display. There is a one of data vehicle for 4-wheel in roda 4. That's all of the demonstration and the explanation. If there is an error, we apologize for the amount. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.